You're locked into the MotoAmerica AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship. This round is MotoAmerica Superbikes at New Jersey for the Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul. And our final round of 2025, our penultimate race of the season from right here at New Jersey Motorsports Park in Millville. Riders and teams are ready to get on the racetrack and get after this awesome race. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, standing alongside two-time national champ Jason Pridmore. Now, the big news is DeMario is not in the class. He wrapped up the #1 plate, but he's not racing this weekend, so that opens this field up to a bunch of racers, and we're looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's wide open now, but we've seen Vosberg, seen Sam Drain, seen Bodie Page do well this year as well against DeMario, but now everybody's looking for that shot at the podium for the final race of the season.
Now, one of the biggest things about the Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul is the fact that there will be 5 riders selected to go to Red Bull Rookies Cup selection in Spain, and here are the 5 that are going. Sam Drain, Vosberg, Bodie Page, Ella Dreyer, and Kenzie Matsudaira are going. So that is a tryout that's going to happen in October. There's 110 to 120 athletes that are invited to do it, so we'll definitely keep an eye on those racers. But for those riders that are here racing in this class, Jay, it's all about NJMP.
Absolutely. We're going to be able to draft down this front straightaway into turn 1, where they'll be seeing a lot of braking, Greg. Up over 3A, 3B, and 3C, as you see. Those are all going to be kind of one lined up over Wheelie Hill, fast turn 4. By the time we get over to turn 7, 8, 9, you're spending a lot of time on that right side of the tire. Some S's will lead you to a very fast turn 12. Wide open on these bikes, Greg, and you will see some drafting to the line.
So that's NJMP, but how about this guy? Wisconsin superstar Hank Vosberg looking to get another win this season. Can he get it done?
Welcome back as we get closer to the start to race 1, a wet race 1. See Sam Drain there, a lot to play for him in this race, setting second in the points. Carson King had a little bit 9th or 10th in that track familiarization in the wet, so we'll see if he was just taking it easy, and once the lights go out, if he's got the speed. Hank Vosberg was really fast, but we'll see. There's going to be some different names up there that we haven't seen before. The rain always throws in a couple new riders in the mix.
Indeed, and Hank Vosberg already going to the front there on this warm-up lap, making a little bit of a statement, as he has done all weekend long. But great to see Bodie Page in that number 65 bike, looking like he is back. The bike looks good. He looks good. Little glance over his shoulder there. But I think we've got a great race on our hands. And dare I say it, with Alessandro Di Mario deciding to step away from the Talent Cup because he has, of course, wrapped up the championship, it really makes this a very exciting race that the rest of the grid have yet to experience so far this season.
And I think a lot of these riders, when they see Alessandro wasn't out this weekend, they had to eyes light up a little bit, maybe see their first win a little bit closer, or even their first podium there, knowing that he was going to be a guy that's out of the mix for the weekend. He's just so fast. He's incredible. I don't blame him for, focusing on the Twins Cup this weekend, and for him, he probably would have liked to be out there and be in this battle, but it's going to be up to these kids out there in this race. And Sam Drain, we mentioned him there on the second row. It's going to be important to get a good start in these wet conditions, not only for him, but Bodie Page, Nathan Betancourt, Cody Kopp from the second row as well. But we're about to find out as we go racing. Race 1 coming up.
Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul is brought to you by Parts Unlimited, an industry-leading distributor of aftermarket power sports parts and accessories. Parts Unlimited, we support the sport. By Motul, powering the future of racing. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
Skies have opened up, rain tires on. Our look at the starting grid real quick. It's Vosberg, King, and Page on the front row.
Then we're going to have Cody Kopp, Betancourt, and Drain, as you see there, 4th through 6th. Page, Sanchez, Dreyer, Fraley, Garcia, and Bourdreau. We're going to round out our field. So yeah, Greg, wet weather race. Kids are ready to go here. We're going to see, I believe this is our, I can't remember, oh, maybe we had one at Barbara, a wet race. But end of the season here. Championship's already decided. Our DeMario is gone in this race. So who's going to step up?
Looked like a good launch from 3rd place for Bodie Page. Bodie and Jake Page back there in 7th place are brothers. But Vosberg on the 31 looking for some room. Up the inside they go. They're side by side. That gets a little sketch in turn number 1. And it looks like Sam Drain is trying to get position around the outside. So there we go. And the first 3 are already starting to walk away as Vosberg has a look over his shoulder on the number 31 machine. That's a Tytler Cycle Racing motorcycle.
Yep, and then you see Carson King back there in 4th. So let's see if Carson can try to close down at all, but the front 2 are gone, aren't they, Greg? First 3 really, like you say, as we're looking here. Bodie Page, 31 of Vosberg, just gets his foot down. Then we got the 99 back here, Nathan Betancourt. We've seen him quite a bit this year, as well as Carson King. Ella Dreyer is going to be in this little battle as well. Cody Kopp, let's see where he's at, Greg. He's tall, there he is, Greg, back there, the number 12. But right now, Bodie Page is checking out, Greg. He feels really comfortable. Vosberg actually led our little 10-minute warm-up, so it was dry, and then right before the start of this race, it rained, so MotoAmerica gave them a little practice session, and but you can see here, Vosberg's running 3rd currently, Greg.
Down trackside is the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Jamie Howe. Jamie, what are the conditions out there right now?
Well, the temperature has certainly dropped, but this rain moving in is the biggest story. Coming into this race, you mentioned that wet familiarization session that these young riders were given. I did talk to Hank Vosberg afterwards, and he said there are a couple of slick spots out there on the racetrack. In particular, keep an eye on conditions in the chicane, as well as coming out of that last turn and onto the front straightaway, as well as a couple of puddles that have started to form out there on the racing surface. There's one here on the front straightaway, so a lot of unknown right now for these riders. There was a wet race earlier in the year back at Barber Motorsports Park, but it could get dicey, guys.
And unfortunately, the 16 down in the middle of the racetrack. That's Trace Boudreau. So Boudreau down in the middle of the racetrack, and that was coming onto the front straightaway, just like Jamie was talking about.
Just like Jamie was saying about the last corner, and we see Trace get kind of high-sided off in that last turn, trying to get the bike going again, and he's going to get it going again. That was a bike that was ridden by Solly Mervis for the majority of the year. So Trace in the background there, you can see, just kind of gets flung up in the air, gets it going again. Just such a bummer. The rest of the field did a nice job of avoiding. But look what's happening back up front. So Bodie Page came across the line with over a 1.1 second lead. And now Hank Vosberg, who I said earlier, Greg, led our little warm-up session, finds himself trying to close in on the back of Bodie, and he's bringing Sam Drain with him.
Pretty close was the 59 of Drain on that Yamaha Blue Crueston racing machine. He almost ran off.
And what about Derek Sanchez now? Look at Derek Sanchez looking really comfortable. So Derek Sanchez was 3.6 behind the leader after the first lap, and now he's closed right up on the back of Drain. He's going to go around the outside of him here, or make an attempt before they get to that last corner. So Sanchez doing everything he can to get himself back up on par with the others. And who's this? Greg, Bodie Page out, like crashes.
Yeah, Page down. It looks like he might have injured himself. Yeah, so it looked like his left forearm, maybe wrist.
Maybe wrist. So let's see, does he get high-sided, Greg? It's going to, watch this thing, it's going to snap around on him. Wow, he went down really nice, but you got to let go of the bike. Got to let go of the bike, Bodie. That's why you got to let go of the bike. So I'm hoping that he didn't get his finger or something smashed up underneath there, and that is a hard lesson to learn. As you see Vosberg look over his shoulder, he's going to see 3 riders. And how about Betancourt now? Fastest lap of the race. Nate Betancourt, really nice, 43.9. So Nate Betancourt took a lap or so, as did Sanchez, to see what the conditions were going to be like. And now they've just come right to the front.
So Vosberg leads the way. Now he got himself a nice cushy lead over the 59 of Sam Drain. Derek Sanchez, who's on the Envy powered by Warhorse machine, and then Betancourt, the 99 out of Medford, Mass, on the Betancourt racing machine. I used to live in Medford.
Did you?
Sure did.
Wow, all right.
Yeah, years ago.
This is going to close up here, I think, Greg. These 4. I think Vosberg's had a couple look over his shoulder. 1.7 second lead last time he came through.
Yeah, and look, these riders don't have a ton of experience in the wet weather with these wet Dunlop tires on these Kramer machines. So we expect to see a 143.9 of Betancourt, fast lap of the race so far. We expect to see these laps continue to fall.
Yeah, as they get more comfortable, as they find out where the track is good, they'll continue to move forward. Sam's done a nice job here of just kind of keeping that gap to Hank Vosberg honest. So you got to expect to see Sam Drain will continue to move forward. We see another bag crash in the background there, Greg. I'm not sure who that was.
Yeah, another one. That's Ella Dreyer.
Ella.
On the MP13 machine. So Dreyer, who is up to 6th position, just crashed out of this one. She's going to try to restart, get back in the race.
Yeah, she was going to be running 5th at that point. Ella would have been. She was just ahead of Carson King and Cody Kopp, but now she's not be able to see the. You can see the air chute has gone off for her, so that's good. She's going to try to get this bike going again, get back on track.
That, of course, is airbag inside of the leather suit you see, and oftentimes, depending on the manufacturer, there's a certain time limit where that suit's going to deflate to allow the rider to keep on racing. Part of the safety that we have here in MotoAmerica and around the world for motorcycle road racing. Obviously, the only real exposed part of the body for racers is really the neck area, right, Jay? You have helmets, boots, gloves, leathers.
Everything's pretty good. I mean, our technology in the sport, not just with motorcycles and tires, but it's also got better with the safety equipment. So 1.9-second lead that last time by Vosberg, but you just get the feeling that Sam Drain and Sanchez, they got a little bit of pace, Greg, as you're pointing out to me right now. They got some red splits coming up on the screen. Sanchez with the fastest first split of the race. Then you have Betancourt there, who's done a great job. He's got the second, in the second sector, he's got the fastest split, and in the 4th sector, Betancourt has the fastest split. So, you know, I'm sure that Hank's going to be looking at his pit board, but I believe that we could see a battle between 4 riders here before the end of the race. We still got more than halfway to go in this race.
Interesting that Vosberg keeps looking back. I think Vosberg is in, how fast do I have to go just to manage this lead? But the riders behind him chasing that carrot, they're going to push the issue here in a minute. So we come across the stripe. 1:43.9 is the fastest lap of the race so far. 1:43.4 by Vosberg. Then it goes 1:42.9 by Drain and 1:42.7 by Derek Sanchez in 3rd place. So far, that's the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, so they are all literally trying. They gained about a half a second that time through on Hank Vosberg. So we've seen Hank win this year, and we've seen Sam, I believe, win also this year. So Sanchez, though, we have not, and Nate Betancourt, we've seen him up front. But a couple riders here searching for that first victory of the season.
Vosberg doing double duty in the Twins Cup category.
Right.
He's had very successful, couple of races when he's on the Twins Cup as well. Very bright future for Vosberg, Drain, Sanchez, Betancourt, all these riders. If you're just joining us, Bodie Page, one of the favorites for this race, crashed out. Ella Dreyer had crashed. She's down, but also back out on the racetrack, as Trace Boudreau as well. So crazy happenings here.
Here we go again, Greg. Derek Sanchez, fastest first split. Nate Betancourt, fastest second split. So right now, Nate's in a good spot. He can kind of let other people in front test the waters. There you see Nathan Betancourt on the 99. Let these guys test the water in front of him and just keep getting pulled up to that leader. Vosberg seems to be kind of responding to this, though. So, you know, I don't know how much pit board watching he's really doing, but he seems to be able to kind of hold the spot. I think he got high-sided there on the exit of the left-hander, Greg. I thought I saw something, and look at the gap. Yeah. Because we saw him all of a sudden way over to the left-hand side of the track, and that gap is gone. So I think when he came out of the tight turn 10 left-hander, I think he got shot up over the seat and saved it. So,
yeah, the gap is gone for sure.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, here we go. I thought I saw something out the corner of the screen, and let's have a look. This is going to be the same place that we saw both Ella have a problem and Bodie have a problem, and that's what I thought I had seen, and that is a huge save, and it ran him a little bit wide. That is just inches from being worse than what it was.
Yeah, and of course, for Vosberg out at the Pier, Wisconsin, he rides a ton of stuff, including ice racing, dirt track, indoor concrete dirt track, and you can see him put his foot down there, motocross dirt track style, after the big save to make sure that he didn't go down after that. He's still leading the race, but 1:42 flat by Betancourt in 4th place on the 99, now the fastest lap of the race with 4.5 laps to go.
But you know, that definitely shows you that coming out of turn 10 is a little treacherous. That's the 3rd thing that we've seen there. Obviously, Bodie falling over, and I'm hoping he's okay. But between Bodie tipping off and Ella tipping off right there, we're going to have to keep an eye on it, because that is the last place where you're really getting the bike slowed, and then you're ramping up speed from there all the way to the finish line.
Yeah.
So you've got to be extra careful. So we see Nate run a little bit wide. turn 9. He's going to give up some time to the leaders in front of him. But you can see how quick Hank gathered that back up. And now he is pulling back away ever so slightly, even though there's some faster splits behind him.
Well, I noticed from Hank when he was in some tighter corners that he's lifting the bike up onto the meat of the tire, a la Superbike style.
Yeah.
These bikes don't have enough torque to take advantage of it, but I think he's trying to get it up on the meat of the tire, get more contact patch with the wet weather tires. I like what I'm seeing heads up from Hank. Jason, we have 4 laps to go. Put your coach's hat on right now. So if you're giving me advice before I get onto the racetrack, what do I do differently from dry weather riding to wet weather riding right now?
All of your movements have to become a lot more subtle. So there's a lot of aggressiveness that you can have in the rain, but it's got to be, taken back in. The percentages now, the risks run a little bit higher. How you apply throttle, how you apply brake, and things like that are definitely going to play into the factors when you get into these conditions. Also, understanding track conditions, just like we had heard in Jamie's report earlier, there are going to be places that are going to be better than others. You have to kind of distinguish where those spots are going to be. And, so for me, there's always a little bit of element of bike setup too. Everybody's going to soften up suspension just a little bit more. So we saw teams out on the grid with slicks. Then it started to rain. So then you start putting some different settings in just to soften the bike up, because you're not putting the load on the bike that you would in the dry. But really, all of your movements, Greg, they just have to become so much more subtle and a lot smoother.
So for Hank Vosberg, thanks for that, Jason, 141.824 after the big near high side save by Vosberg. He's able to set the fastest lap of the race and has really gone away from his competitors now, 1.1 seconds. So nice to see Vosberg not be bothered by that moment after a nice big save. But no answer yet from second or third place.
Yeah, both of the riders behind him. Now Vosberg just looks like he's got his head down. Like, we've seen him kind of turning around, looking back. He's got 3 laps to go. He goes 40.7, so he's 1.2 seconds quicker than Sam Drain, who's directly behind him, and he was 1.1 quicker than Sanchez. Nate Betancourt falling off the pace just a little bit. Solid 4th right now for Nate. Carson King, we're waiting for him to come by our starting position, but he's in a pretty solid 5th as well. So he's got nobody like sort of in front of him or around him. These two, they look like they had pace and they were going to catch up, and then Vosberg just kind of put the hammer down after the small mistake that he made.
Do you feel that having a positive attitude heading into a race like this, or even when you're on the bike, convincing yourself that you love riding in the rain versus the negativity is important?
And that's probably, Greg, to be honest with you, you asked me a simple question just now, and that's probably the number one thing. If you, Sanchez gets shot up out of the seat there, looks over his shoulder, he's going to see that he's got a little bit of distance over Betancourt, but that's going to give Nate a big boost of confidence. You've got to come into these conditions, another one for Sanchez, but you got to come into these conditions wanting to ride in them. You got to want to, if it's raining at a track day, go out and do your laps. Get used to what it's like to going out and riding around in the rain, because it's super key. So many people don't want to go out and ride in the rain. Rain tires, as you know, Greg, are some of the funnest things you can actually ride on. And you're going to see Sanchez, this is turn 5, and we'll see. He's just going to get shot up out of the seat, see that bike going sideways, and see how quick he snapped the throttle off. So he felt that thing coming around on him very, very early. So now Betancourt is right on the back of Sanchez. Let's see if he's able to do anything with him when he comes down this front straightaway. Maybe a little draft and pass on these small bikes.
Good drive by the 99. You can see a little bit of tentativeness on the 23, and that's going to propel the 99 right by. And that's going to be Betancourt coming across the line with 2 laps to go in 3rd place. Jamie?
Well, as you continue to watch Derek Sanchez there on the number 23, it's worth noting that this weekend, that is not the bike that he's been on all season. That is the bike that was ridden to the championship by Alessandro Di Mario early on. So he's gotten the opportunity here this weekend to ride a bike that's been further developed along. And for Derek, you can see what he's been able to do, take advantage of it. Hopefully he can settle down a little bit, 2 laps to go, and see if he can put himself back into contention for his first podium.
Yeah, for Sanchez out of Santo Domingo, out of Dominican Republic on the NV powered by Warhorse. That connection to the Warhorse team really paying dividends when the opportunity arrives for Sanchez. It looked like Sanchez had a notion.
He did, didn't he? He thought about it.
Is it like really hold your breath moment in your gut when you're going to pass somebody on the brakes like that in the wet?
Yeah, you definitely. So when you see a rider do what he just did there, it's almost like a little rehearsal maybe for the next time they come around. Next time they come around, they're going to get the white flag. But again, by this time, they know what they have underneath them. They know the confidence that they have. You see Ella Dreyer on the right side of your screen. She continued without a windshield and all that, so she's heading off down into turn 1. Currently 9th spot is Ella. But yeah, for Sanchez, he's trying to figure out where he can make those passes. So next time, if he can get a little bit closer through turn 4, he might be able to try to get up the inside of Betancourt. As even Nathan there gets a little sideways. Here's our leader, Vosberg. He's going to come across the line with probably close to a 3-second lead. And Drain will be in 2nd. And it's exactly at 3 seconds. Then how about this battle for 3rd? And we'll see what Sanchez has in store.
We love to see racing. We don't like to see things end up in tears.
Yeah, no, for sure.
At all, but
he had a thought about it there, didn't he?
Yeah, up the inside.
Yeah.
It's just got to figure out if there's a spot where the 23 can pass. As Betancourt has a look over his shoulder, wrong side. Almost left the door open, but nothing doing. Got to keep those eyes forward, man, in these conditions, right?
Keep them forward, hit your marks, do the best you can, because in these conditions too, like to your point, Greg, it definitely makes it a little bit harder to pass. So Nathan closes the door into turn 4, but this is where he's got to really make sure he closes the door. Stay over to the left, just like that. He opened the door though. See, that's just going to be racecraft, and that's what's great about this class. You learn as you go. So for Nathan, he just opened the door at that last minute. If he just stayed and kept that door closed, it would have been a lot harder pass for Derek Sanchez to make on him.
But a nice clean pass with a lot of room on the racetrack for the 23. That is for 3rd position on this final lap. Hank Vosberg out by over 3 seconds over Drain, and this battle for 3rd, the final spot on the podium.
And for these kids, Greg, being on the podium is everything, isn't it? I mean, they want to stand up on that podium anywhere, just like they get to watch the guys that they look up to in some of the bigger classes here at MotoAmerica. But Sanchez has done a nice job. He's just got to get out of here nice and clean, and he does. Both riders get out of there clean. But for Vosberg, as you see him come out of the last corner, Greg, he's going to bring this one home.
Hank Vosberg from Wisconsin, a good save and a great win in race number 1 here at New Jersey. And Sam Drain in the books, and to the line we go, and it's going to be Derek Sanchez who's able to stand on the podium. And for Sanchez, his best finish so far this season has been 5th, and so that will be his best ever finish in the Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul class. Great job.
Got to be careful getting out in that grass, though. I'll tell you that.
It's a little slippery out there.
A little slippery out there for this guy. Vosberg wins again. And you'd have to have said probably, Greg, that we've seen Vosberg really come into his own this year and win a race. And you see Sam Drain pulling up alongside of him. But it's always exciting when you see somebody put it on the podium for the very first time.
The 4th win for Vosberg this season. And Jay, he and Sam Drain, right, who finished 1 and 2, they're wrapped up in a championship battle for 2nd. Now he closed it within 5. We're going to talk to Hank about his win and that big save when we come back.
Welcome as we continue the Live Plus coverage here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. See Sam Drain, Hank Vosberg talking about it on the cool-down lap. Hank Vosberg goes on even after that big mistake to get the win over Sam Drain. Derek Sanchez, Nathan Betancourt, great ride by both of those. You can see there, look how happy Derek Sanchez is for his first podium. Puts a lot of hard work. He had been dreaming about that. It's just really cool. But Hank Vosberg just controlled that race just really quick, and he also gains 5 points on Sam Drain going into the second last race of the year tomorrow.
Indeed. Lovely to see, especially the youngsters and Derek Sanchez, as you mentioned, getting his first podium here. Hank Vosberg, of course, what a weekend for him already. And of course, race 2 tomorrow in Twins and Talent, but a win and a podium for Hank. And closing down on Sam Drain for 2nd place in the Talent Cup, of course. But what a learning experience for these young riders. We did unfortunately see a couple of crashes. Ella Dreyer managed to get back up on her bike. Bodie Page unfortunately didn't. Rossi Garcia as well. A real learning experience for these riders in the rain.
And that's the tough part in this sport. Sometimes you learn the hard way, and learning lessons mean you end up on the ground. And hopefully Bodie Page is okay and he's going to be able to get out and finish this season in race 2 tomorrow. But all those guys don't have, all these kids, they don't have a lot of experience in the wet, and it's a good opportunity for them to get out there, and they learned a lot. You see Nathan Betancourt, see how disappointed he is to be so close to the podium and come up a little bit short.
Indeed, Derek Sanchez and Nathan Betancourt had a really good battle there for that podium position, which would have been a first for Nathan as well. But of course, there's always tomorrow to go for it once again.
Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul is brought to you by Parts Unlimited, an industry-leading distributor of aftermarket power sports parts and accessories. Parts Unlimited, we support the sport. By Motul, powering the future of racing. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
Back here for celebrations at New Jersey Motorsports Park here in Millville. And of course, Vosberg and Drain have been on the box before, but for Sanchez, they're going to celebrate that. That's awesome. Here's a look at those results. Gotta pressure watch that thing. You got Sam Drain in second place over Vosberg. Sanchez in third. Betancourt in fourth. Good race between those riders. King, Kopp, Ian Fraley, and Dreyer, who picked it up, finished eighth. Jake Page came in to pit lane on the last lap, still able to finish in ninth place. Wow, so interesting race in the rain and great experience for all of these young riders here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Oh, Yellow Hat is the champion. Alessandro DiMario congratulating. Let's get down to Winner's Circle with Jamie.
For Hank Vosberg, it is the 4th win of this Talent Cup season. And for you, Hank, you have so much experience, not necessarily on asphalt, but racing on everything. We saw that huge save. How much does that experience come into play when these conditions get so tricky?
Yeah, it was definitely a wild ride there. I knew that was one of the moments I'd have to, or one of the places that I'd have to think about while I was out there, and just kind of got in the zone. And I just had to remind myself that you're racing in the rain, and you got to take it easy. So I just can't give it up to the team enough for giving me such a great bike. And I have to dedicate this race to Ross Olsen. He was such a great person, and he meant a lot to the racing community, and it was such a bad thing to lose him. And yeah, I just want to give it up to him and the consolidation to his family.
Well said. I send our thoughts as well. Congratulations on that race win. We will move over to Sam Drain, who is back on the podium for the 8th time this season, solidifying that 2nd place in the championship. But conditions were tricky out there. What did you take away from the race today that you can maybe use tomorrow?
At the start of that race, I was getting too happy and had a few big moments, but I just took a few deep breaths and got in a rhythm. Hank had a big moment and got right on the back of him, but then he was on another level with the pace. I tried running with it and he got a big gap on me, but felt like I was kind of staying the same gap after that. But I can't thank my Blue Crew Monster Energy team enough. Estenson Racing, and my pop passed away 2 days ago, so I want to dedicate this one for him, and I miss you, Pop.
You'd be proud of the fact that at just 14 years old, Sam has been able to hone in on that energy and calm himself down when he needs to the most. Take a minute and soak it all in. Your very first time on the podium here in MotoAmerica. Derek, the whole team, obviously all the fans here, eager to congratulate you. Take us through the race today. How'd you get it done?
First off, thanks to all my sponsor, Ride Americas, Warhorse HSBK. Thank you. You guys have been working with me all weekend, and I love this bike. Thank you for the bike. And I would like to give a huge shout out to Ride Dunlop, Mr. De Naples, Mr. Bobby. Thank you for all the work, and thank you for this opportunity. And I would like to give a huge shout out to Envy. Thank you for all the help the whole season. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I love y'all.
Congratulations. Listen, one more time.
That's what it sounds like when an entire team is behind you. Championship standings, DiMario wrapped it up early, so it's now down to Sam Drain and Vosberg, who've closed within 4 of that second place in the championship. That'll be interesting tomorrow, see how that pans out. Page in 4th place. Well, that'll do it. A rain-soaked race here for our Parts Unlimited Talent Cup by Motul. We get to do it again tomorrow. Rumor is it'll be sunny and there'll be plenty of heat on the racetrack. Well, that'll do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow.